Okay, so what is the definition of embedded system? It's electronic as well as electromechanical system. Either it may be electronic like our mobile device, or electromechanical like the motor what we are using in our day-to-day life to lift the water, etc. And it is to perform a specific function. It is not to perform all general function. Say for example, if you take a help of printer, so what is the work of a printer? Printer work, it is to take it is to give us the printout. Okay, so printout, it's an electronic. Okay, it's also electromechanical. How it is mechanical? Because really it will take a paper from one end, from the another end, with the help of some rollers or a printing cartridge, it will give us a printout. Okay, so now it is doing specific work. Specific means what? Not all the works. It is doing very limited and exact work. Purpose is to take a printout. With the help of printer we can do it. Can a printer do lifting the water or cooling the air of a room? That is not possible. So meaning of specific function is, for what work it is designed, it has to do that much only, nothing more than that. Okay, that is called as specific function. And is embedded system consist of a hardware? Yes, there should be an hardware, set of hardware, and there should also be a software. So this software we cannot see, but we can feel whether it is there or not. See, if you take up any of the printer, right, on the bottom or some side, you can see some this one, some keypad. How many number of copies you want, lighter or darker, A4 or A3, some etc. If you visit some Xerox shop, or even if you take some of the online images of a printer, then also you can see there will be some input keyboard, keypad. Okay, those you can see, which are called as hardware, but software we cannot see. But software is, it is like how to take a printout, whether it is a front, back, only front, those all adjustments, how to do all the printing work, it is controlled by a software. Okay, so more about this embedded system software we are going to study in the chapter 2 and chapter 3. Okay, let me repeat a definition. It's an electronic as well as electromechanical system, and it is used to perform specific functions, and it has a combination of both the hardware and software. Okay, let's go for the differences between general purpose computer and embedded system. Let me list out first embedded system specifications, then you will come to know what is a general purpose meaning. Okay, see now what embedded system consists of. Okay, what it is consisting of, it's combination of a special purpose hardware and an embedded operating system. This is important. If I take up my computer where we have a Windows or a Linux operating system, similarly if you take one of the embedded system like a printer, there will also be an embedded operating system. If you take some billing system in the some retail shops, there will also be an embedded operating system. Okay, those all will be consisting of a particular operating system. See, like how I can use Google Chrome, I can use a VLC player, I can use some photo editing tool in my Windows computer. I cannot use same software on the computer which is used for billing system in some retail shop. That means what, there the work of compute, even though that it looks also that looks same as a computer, it cannot do all the works. What it can do only is, it will take up a component, means some product, it can read a barcode, and it will fetch the rate of that product. Only that much it can do. Then what it will do is, it will sum up all the individual product bill or the cost, and it will make a final billing. That's it. In that computer we cannot go for a paint, we cannot go for edit of some music, etc. That is, those are not possible. So meaning of embedded system is, it's a very limited. If for what purpose it is designed, it will do only that much. So next one, So how the operating system will be in embedded system? Generally, nowadays it will be there in every embedded system. But once, if you take some examples of old days embedded systems, the operating system was not there. But nowadays, all the embedded systems consist of their separate OS, and that OS does not do all the works. It will do very limited number of works. Okay, so then what are the modifications done for an embedded system? Here we cannot do any of the modification. As I said, if you take some More shop or a Reliance shop billing computer system, you cannot play the music from that computer. You cannot attach any of the pen drives, etc. So those are a fixed function. We cannot do any other work apart from what they are designed for. Okay, so they are non-alterable. They are non-alterable. So then what is the key factor of any embedded system? The very important and advantage is it will definitely do correctly the work for what it is designed for. That means what? 100% performance we can expect from it. Okay, so what about the power consumption of embedded system? It is less. Why it is less is very simple way. Because it is doing limited work, it will have limited hardware. Okay, if it has a limited hardware, definitely power consumption will be lesser. Okay, then comes how fast it will respond for an for an input. Compared to general purpose computer, embedded system response will be very faster. Okay, compared to general purpose, embedded system response time will be very high. It will give us response very immediately. Even if you take help of ATM system, there I cannot play the music, I cannot download a file, like how I can do all these work in my computer. In my computer I can do all this, but in ATM computer I cannot do it. But it is response time is more. Sometimes response time will be lesser due to the network, but not because of a hardware. Okay, so then comes what it can execute. It can execute a deterministic or hard real time. See, the deterministic, if I insert a card in the ATM machine, what I can determine how it can do the next step. Can I predict the next step, what it is going to be? Yes, it will be, I can predict, but same prediction we cannot do in our general computer. Okay, how? You will come to know in detail as we go for explaining the embedded system thoroughly. Okay, so now what are the contents of general purpose system with respect to same? Okay, see now, here it is application oriented hardware or a software. Here it is general purpose, like you can compare your desktop computer to general purpose ATM machine for embedded system. I repeat, desktop computer for general purpose and ATM machine for embedded system. So what our computer can do, if I take my computer in my study room, it acts as a student computer. I shift this computer to some studio, photo studio. How it works there? The photo studio person will install a software related to his field, and he processes the images in different methods. So it is acting as like photo development lab computer. So again, one more, my friend will take that computer and he will install in some reservation center, ticket reservation center. There it acts as a ticket reserving machine. Okay, so one more person will take a computer and he will set up in some hospital for reception or for the monitoring of health, etc. See, means what? Our computer can do, or is fit to do all kind of works. Okay, so second thing, what we are using operating system is, it's a general purpose operating system. It is not a specific, like only for a particular work. It is general purpose. I can, wherever I can take, whoever want to install a software, he can install and start usage. Okay, can I do modifications? Yes, I can do modifications. Like how? I can change OS of my computer. Okay, I can change the total combination of a hardware. Okay, like extension of a RAM, extensions of a pocket disk. Okay, I can connect music system to my computer, like a guitar or a system like a drum, etc. Some of the musical instruments I can connect. Okay, now performance is very important here also nowadays, since embedded system is reaching more performance. Here also performance is, speed of the total performance is higher nowadays. Okay, what happens if we don't consider performance is, this will be vanished from the market because of the less performance. Nowadays both embedded system and general purpose computers both have high performance. Okay, why the power consumption is more compared to the embedded system is because these are, see, if you connect computer with some photo development lab equipments, they are bulk in size. If you visit a Photoshop, some of the photo printing shops or there will be, it is a bulk. So now what we should think is, my computer is connected with some bulk device. So definitely what happens, that bulk device is sub component of my computer. So total consumption of, power consumption I should consider for both. It is not separate only for my laptop and for that machine. Okay, together if we consider the power consumption, definitely my computer power consumption will be more, because total system is made up of not only computer plus that photo printing machine. Okay, response time is little lesser compared to the embedded system, because in the ATM machine, if it not responds within 1 minute or 2 minutes, it understands that, okay, it understands time has exceeded, so start one more time activity. But I double click on my computer, software in my computer. If it doesn't open in 1 minute or 2 minutes, so I may not get any of such a option. What I have to do is, I have to use alt control shift or alt control delete to manage the task. To go for a task manager, delete the task again, I should go for the usage of a computer, like that. Okay, so it is not a very important factor, because it is not a time bounded system, this general purpose. So execution, no need to be deterministic. Okay, so however the situation comes, the general purpose computer will respond according to that. Okay, so please remember the differences between general purpose and embedded systems. Okay, so how the embedded systems are classified? So those are classified based upon four methods. Out of the four, we are studying first and second. So the first one is generation based, second one is complexity of the work it is doing and performance. Based upon the deterministic behavior and based upon the triggering, we have the different methods of classification. Okay, right? So first let's take based upon the generation, how the embedded systems are classified. So I think you may get one question in the examination: explain classification of embedded systems. So you need to write four, but explanation of first and second, because the textbook only two methods are given. Okay, so what do you mean by explanation for based on generation classification of embedded systems? So there are four generation: first, second, third, fourth. So what are the important features we should write whenever it is a first generation uh, embedded systems? So these were very earlier. Earlier means first type of embedded systems. Those are made up of 8 bits microprocessors like 8085. So please, we have to remember few points like this, very few points. Okay, those are made up of 8 bits microprocessors. And what are the some examples? Hardware circuits. Some of the hardware circuits: digital telephone keypad, digital telephone keypad. So those were the applications where first generation embedded systems were used. Okay, I think you remember the telephone and its keypad, the number, land phone, hope you remember. So that only that component is made up of first generation embedded system. So second generation embedded system, of course there should be something enhancement from 8 bit, these are 16 bit. Now you see how to go on adding a points. If it is a 8 bits and if this is a 16 bit, can you predict which generation will be faster? Can you predict which generation will be faster? First or second? 8 bits will be faster or 16 bit will be faster? Do reply in the chat box. Because of the more bits of processing, definitely we can expect 16 bits will be faster. And it was a simple purpose. Now little complex. Why the complex? Because we have more capacity components to execute. So instead of giving more, if once we have more hardware, more capacity hardware, why to give simple work? Let's start giving more complex instructions. There was no inbuilt OS. Okay, no inbuilt OS. But here OS is embedded. OS means smartness. Hope you are studying the same in your operating system subject. OS means smartness or intelligence, own intelligence. Okay, so there it was no intelligent. It was purely controlled by user. Here, this can be controlled itself. Okay, third generation. Again, enhancement. 13 bits microprocessor or and 16-bit microcontroller. I am typing in a short form, microcontroller. So again, performance is some more enhanced. You can expect like this. See, if this speed is X, this will be 4 times X because 8 to 32. Okay, now what are the non-mentioned default features you see here? Whatever was there in the second generation extra feature, that is also there in the third. I repeat again. So what was there in extra? What was the extra there in the second? That's the OS. So definitely that will be there as a default. So generation means always not to remove important of the previous. Along with the important of a previous, come with the new features. That's what the evolution. So it has 32 bits microprocessor and sometimes 16-bit microcontroller, also embedded OS. I will write this. So that these are the default parameters. So now comes where we have used. I mean, in which part we have used it. Digital signal processing units. Okay, we have used digital signal processing. That means what? This digital signal processing was not there in second and first. Second and first. Okay, then comes application specific integrated circuits. Concepts will come. Okay, this we are going to study in the second chapter. Application specific integrated circuits. I think you can see PCBs nowadays. PCBs based upon application. So those are also possible. Okay, so the third generation has supported for robotics and networking. So robotics supporting and networking was not there in second and first. So those were added. Robotics means what? Automatically or computer will do on its own. Okay, robotic means say for example car assembly unit. So what it will do, it will take one by one component on the chassis. Chassis is manufactured. Once the chassis comes into the turn, the mechanical robotics bring the component. They will, like a door, glass, rubber, seat, etc. They keep on place tightening the screw or etc. So these all works are done by automatically. Okay, so that is called as robotic. So networking means what here? One system connecting with the another. So that concept was not possible in first and second. So in the third, that made possible. What do you mean by fourth generation? See, along with all the features like here you see, along with complex instructions, embedded OS, okay, then digital signal processing, robotics, networking. The fourth generation also has some concept called reconfigurable processor. If I don't want a one part, I have developed one full embedded system. So I after evaluation, I came to know that one part is not working according to my expectation. Then what I can do, I can go for reconfiguration. So that possibility was not there in first, second, third. If I develop, even if one component has a fault, I have to use it as a full system. But that is available. That is available. I hope what we can do today is we are using only fourth generation. How? See, if I will bring a mobile, so suddenly some part of a mobile is not working. So what I will do, I will go for the service center and I will raise a complaint. So what they will tell us is, hand over the mobile for some days. So it will be forwarded for some experiment like company or etc. So they will come out with a solution and they will replace. So that replacement is available. But here today we can directly see reconfigurable, but during old days it was not a reconfigurable. Then tight integration of hardware. So this is important. See, a simple example I would like to give you is today's mobile equal to computer. Okay, today's mobile is almost equal to computer. Whatever computer can do, same activities mobile can do. So if there was a no tight integration concept, so our mobile used to be same size of computer, which we cannot carry in our pocket or carry with us and go from one place to another place. So that means because of tight integration of a hardware, the size of the total system become very small, which we can hold in our hand and move from one place to another place. And also they provide high performance. Definitely mobile is a high performance device nowadays. And also they are real-time systems like connecting with my friend, connecting with the internet. They are based upon the real time. Okay, I will give a call. I will try to make a call for my friend. I will type his numbers and go for a call button. After some limited amount of time, if call successfully done, okay. Otherwise, it will tell, computer will tell it is taking more amount of a time. Sorry, mobile will tell the person is not reachable or it is a more time to communicate. So automatically it will disconnect. Okay, next very important is system on chip. This, because of this concept, these all things are possible, these many. What do you mean by system on chip? Chip means, imagine it's a very 2 by 2 centimeter by 2 centimeter size microprocessor, or even lesser in our mobile devices. Okay, so every system means what? All the activities it can do, like input, processing, output, all these are controlled by single chip. So these all are this, because of this concept, nowadays the embedded system size is reducing very lesser. Okay, next, based upon complexity and performance, we have three sections: small scale, medium scale, and large scale. See now, small scale means what? It we are used for very simple applications like kids toys, okay, remote cars, where you can do only 4 activities: hold, move forward, move backward, right, left, stop. So like this, very simple works that they used to do. They are non-real-time activities. Nowhere it is connected with the timer, and unless it receives a signal for the next, it keeps on. If you press a right button for a remote car, unless you release it or unless you give one more button, it keeps on doing a right. It never bother whether it took a very long right turn or long left turn, etc. It is non real time there. Low performance. Why we used to call low performance is, okay, because of non real time. Okay, and why we should say it is a low performance is, anyway it is not related to time. So we are not bothering how much time it will take for taking a right, taking a left, taking a forward, backward, etc. So we can expect we are not measuring its activities with respect to time, hence we can say it's a low performance. Because of low performance, cost is also lesser. If cost is lesser, okay, if cost is should be lesser, we have to implement using 8-bit or 16-bit. If it's a 8-bit or 16-bit, here it falls under first or second generation. If it is a small scale, first or second generation. Now one simple question: if today we are using 4th generation embedded system, does it mean we don't have first and second? No, we have. Even today we have first and second, because even today if I visit a shop, I will get a kids toys and remote cars. So those are, even though we are in a 4th generation, those are developed using concept of first generation, and the target is small scale, where there are less number of works. moving right, moving left, moving forward, moving backward, and stop, like that. Okay, so next, medium scale. So slightly increased. You can see this, very important, 16 or 32 bit. So 16 or 32 bit category belongs to second or third together. So if it is a second or third, what are the features of this complexity? First thing, slightly complex works. There will be operating system. Okay, and robotics and networking. If it is the networking, what you can think, we can go for, see this example, billing system. Why billing system? Server is in one side, the computer is in another side. You can see if you visit a shop, this shopping mall, at outside you have a billing system. So what it will do is, server is in the other room, so you will go on giving a product barcode, so automatically the count of that product will be decreased, because 10 biscuits are there, one a customer took, means it should show 9 more are remaining, like that. So the concept of networking is there. So slightly high performance, slightly high performance. And as I mentioned here, you can see this embedded OS, generally they consist of embedded operating system. Embedded operating system. Slight complex works like a billing system. Okay, large scale is a third. So they are made up of what? 32 or 64 bit. So if it's a 32 or 64 bit, they belongs to third or fourth. What are the features of third or fourth? Definitely embedded OS. They can do digital signal processing, definitely networking, definitely tight integration, and high performance real time. Mixture of this. You can see now mobile phones. Okay, so mobile phones, nuclear power plants, some automated industry machines, etc. See now, if I am using a computer of this category, what it should have? Do our mobile have a task scheduling and task synchronization? Yes, they have. We can do we have multiple processor in our mobile, because image processing is different, signal processing is different, text processing is different. So those, for every we have a different processor. Okay, again, reconfigurable system on chip, reconfigurable system on chip. Okay, these all are the features of large scale microcontroller, sorry, large scale embedded systems. Okay, so next, where we are using these embedded systems. If I give some some photos here, hope you will easily analyze the two concepts, major applications and purpose. See here, this is a digital camera where I can capture a photo, store for some days, and after that I can transfer it to my computer. This is replaced by nowadays mobile. We are going to use lesser. See, next one is modem. This is used in our college or some of the building where we want a high speed internet than mobile. Okay, next, digital signal processing engine is this. So this we have not seen in our day-to-day life, but this is one of the architecture. Not definitely always it should be like this, it depends. Next one is, see, a patient ECG cardiograph machine, cardiograph machine. So then air cooler, then comes mobile. Okay, see now where all we are using. Are we using embedded system in our consumer electronics like a refrigerator, washing machine? Yes. Household applications like AC, okay, AC machine, printers, then TV remote, okay. Smart home applications like Android app controlled fan, Android app controlled lights, etc. So automotive industry, as I mentioned, car chassis will come into the row line, and side arms. So, there will be a robotic machine which will take a component and go on fixing into the chassis. So then telecommunication and networking, here I have shown. So this is a modem where we have used for internet or networking. So telecommunication, is it application? Yes, because we are using mobile. That is also embedded system. Computer peripherals. Okay, computer peripherals means what? Printers, music systems. Okay, here I will write printers, music systems, which we can connect to our computer. Okay, so then healthcare sector I have shown here, where a patient cardiograph is shown. Okay, so then banking and retail, I hope some of the mobile, sorry, some, yeah, all banks are providing our us the software or app. Okay, even if you visit that bank, they use their own OS. Card readers like ATM machine, SOPs, where you in the shopping mall you will give a card for transaction, so that is called SOP, card reader. Wearable devices like today's smartwatch or Fitband. Okay, IoT. So these are the some major applications where we are using embedded systems. Okay, IoT means Internet of Things, I mentioned already. So through my mobile I am controlling the doors. Through my mobile I am controlling the water pouring machine of the garden, etc. These all are the IoT based embedded systems. Okay, what is the purpose of embedded system? To collect a data, store a data, and represent. Okay, I am visiting one place, so I want to take a picture of that environment. So I will collect it, I will store, and whenever I want I can reopen and use it. Communication purpose. Okay, what, how we are communicating? Through internet modem. I am sending a message to my friend, I'm sending a mail, I'm sending some photos, videos related to his study material, etc. So this is one purpose. So data processing, I shown here how the data processing engine is. Okay, to collect a signal, to collect digital signal, I process it, how it works. Okay, what are the features of it, whether it is a sound signal or I mean some other I mean some noise, etc., to identify it. So these are called as signal processing engine. Monitoring. So what we are monitoring? Patient health condition, whether it's a, he's in a stable condition, or should we provide more care units, etc. Okay, so then comes controller. So how we are using air cooler in our home, or even you can include a TV remote. Okay, so where with the help of this we can control which function should be displayed on the TV, sports, news, some serials. So those are controlled by this particular embedded system called TV remote. So last one is application specific user interface, smartphones. So now actually we should not say application specific. Today's mobiles, those are general purpose. Why general purpose is those can do all kind of works. Today's mobile can do all kind of works, but really speaking the smartphone belongs to application specific. Why application specific is that person may install limited software in which he is interested. Okay, so but nowadays some all service provider is giving in terms of mobile apps. Okay, example banking. So what happened earlier days, just 5 6 years before, was banking only they will provide interface, web access. Okay, if you go for some of the hotel, again hotel this one website. So through that only we have to communicate. But nowadays what happened? For banking there is one app. Again, particular bank, particular app is there. In the same way, for everything we can do with the help of smartphone. So advantage of smartphone is we can do all kind of works. So why it is a user interface word is because through the smartphone I can communicate with the bank, I can communicate with the hotel, I can communicate with the travel agent, I can communicate with some digital book library. So hence it is called as user interface. Okay, so this is what we have studied in our chapter 1. So first thing is what you can expect, two questions is definition of embedded system and differences between embedded system and general purpose. Second possibility is based upon the either complexity or based upon the generation, different types of evolution of a embedded system. Third question is purpose of the embedded system. 3 questions are possible from this. Even for assignment also, the same 3 possibilities.